thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We are representing both Empowered for X and the Afro Caribbean Business Network, talking about funding and grant opportunities for profit companies. But again, that always spills over into nonprofit. So definitely in the right place if you're looking for grant funding at this moment. For myself, my name is Ryan Knight, a social entrepreneur with, I've started a few companies, but the main one was Detailing Nights, a social enterprise that provides waterless mobile car cleaning. We used to go to people's houses and their offices, clean their cars on the spot without using water. But what I was most proud of was our youth entrepreneurship program, where we would take high school and college students and even those out of school and teach them entrepreneurship by having them run mini versions of our company. And most recently, I'm one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network and a partner in the Empowered Forex company. So Empowered Forex is actually a physical location here in Brampton, started as a co-working space and is now expanded into a virtual community that becomes an ecosystem for entrepreneurs so that we can put the right supports around you depending on what you need for your business and what you need to grow your company. So if you do need marketing, legal, accounting, or just business operations or infusing technology into your company, please give us a check out our website. You can also get a virtual business address so people do not show up at your house, especially if you have a Google My Business listing. Definitely don't have your home address there. You can get a virtual address for as little as I think it's $9 a month. So definitely check that out. And before I jump too deep, I did want to give a shout out to our partners. Of course, Alterna Savings, that has been a supporter from the beginning of, I guess, when ACBN and Empower for X started. EDGE, which is the entrepreneurship program at Sheridan College, the entrepreneurship discovery and growth engine. Dream Legacy Foundation, that has the Black Business Hub over by the airport in Mississauga, Pearson Airport, for those that know, YYZ. Calabash, which is a cooperative of expert service providers in the community. So if you need work to get done, and especially the writer, hold on, somebody said that they're a writer that works with nonprofits. You should definitely check out Calabash to sign up and be one of their expert service providers, so that we can get you more exposure to nonprofits that are looking for your services. And really quick, SETC, the social economy through social inclusion, ZSC, which is our business development arm that helps us with working with entrepreneurs. And a special shout out to Toronto Community Benefits Network, Rosemary Powell, that's been supporting the work I was doing way back with Detailing Nights, and of course, still supporting with the Afro Caribbean Business Network and Empowered for X as well. So, a little bit about the Afro Caribbean Business Network. We started 4 years ago in 2017. Actually, I can't believe we're going on our fifth year, where we were starting to work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage to really figure out what stage they're in and how to help them grow their companies. I was seeing a gap as an entrepreneur myself. I was running a company, Detailing Nights, as I mentioned earlier, and we were looking to franchise and expand across Canada. And there were no Black focused business organizations that I could go to that had that in their mandate to help companies really scale. So we figured we would build it ourselves. And we've grown over the 4 years to a database that actually need to update this. It's over 4,000 entrepreneurs in our mailing list. About 71% of them are female entrepreneurs. And we've seen 91% are business founders or the CEO of the company. And now that we're part of the federal government's Black entrepreneurship ecosystem, we've been able to partner with 30, actually, that's now 30 plus organizations. So it expands our reach to over 20,000 Black entrepreneurs. And our current initial research is showing there's about 27 to 30,000 Black entrepreneurs across Canada. So we definitely want to be able to reach out to each of them and let them know about the supports that we have. And really quickly, the pillars that ACBN stands on, of course, entrepreneurship. I feel everybody, even if you have a full-time job or if you're a student and feel like you're too young to start a business, use that time to start one. If you have a full-time job, have a side hustle. It adds to the income you're bringing into your household, and it gives you that perspective of an entrepreneur. But of course, for us that are full-time in our entrepreneurship journey, we want to be here to support you because I feel entrepreneurship is the great equalizer that allows for economic inclusion. We do these events as often as we can so that we can convene and, share knowledge. Before we were doing in-person info sessions and networking events. It shifted virtual. It's going to get back to in-person shortly. But the big piece and the reason that we're here is the access to funding. And I want to make sure that you understand you do have space to ask any question that you want. I love to look for different types of funding, whether it's grants, loans, investment. But today we're going to be focusing on grants. But again, if you have questions about other types of capital, please feel free to ask. So I usually show this slide just to give an overview of what we've been doing with ACBN and Detail Ignite. So Detail Ignite is a for-profit company and ACBN is nonprofit. So we've been able to access different types of grants in the past where Ignite Capital, that you see at the top, was a pitch competition. Same with Now Creative. We've been able to access city and municipal grants such as the City of Brampton Advance Fund, to help do events and even funds to help train volunteers. We've been able to get provincial funding through the Youth Opportunities Fund, which is a division of the Ontario Trillium Foundation. And also now we've been able to get federal funding through the community foundations with the Investment Readiness Program and also the Ecosystem Fund, as I was talking before. And you'll see it ranges between types of funding and I guess the amount of funding, as low as $500 all the way up to 1.3 million. So all this to show you that it is definitely possible to get grants. I do not consider myself a high-level PhD grant writer, and I'm new to the nonprofit world, so I had to really learn as I was going. But every time we applied for a grant, we learned more. And the more that we applied, the more that we were successful. So one thing that I would love you to leave with is definitely be persistent in your grant hunting journey. And what I love to see most is these types of success stories that I'm showing here. Rescue Youth International was a nonprofit organization thinking that they couldn't get a lot of grants or didn't have the time to write grants. So we partnered with them. We were able to put in an application, and that was through the Investment Readiness Program, actually. So they were able to start a social enterprise, which is a food truck that tied well into their culinary program they're already doing. So now the youth that go through the culinary program can now get hired onto the food truck. The food truck operates and generates revenue that goes back to the nonprofit to keep it sustainable. So based on their projected numbers for this year, they actually wouldn't need to go out and get additional grants because the food truck would put enough money into the nonprofit to be able to keep it going sustainably. And Custodia, which is a for-profit company, also because they have a strong impact in the community around seniors, they were able to go for the Investment Readiness Program. They obtained over $100,000. So a for-profit company getting a grant, just like a nonprofit company also getting that same grant, you can see even if you're a for-profit, you can definitely qualify for grants. So today we're not going to be able to go too deep into the grant writing blueprint. We would definitely want to invite you to either join Grant Hunter University or call us and see what it's like to actually answer all those questions in the blueprint. But I wanted to spend a lot more time on what grants are currently out there. So I will pause there just to see if there's any questions as I was going through kind of talking about our history. But today I did want to touch on some of these available grants that we can chat about. So let me just slow down and see if there's any questions. Otherwise, happy to jump into it. All right. Oops,
I have a question. Hello?
There, let me just quickly check.
I have a question.
All right, so the first one that I wanted to bring up for you, let me Oh, I see Jay was asking, do we charge to help companies with grant writing applications? So we charge for the Grant Hunter University. It's $297 for the entire year, and you get all the videos that walk you through how to uh, do the grant writing blueprint. So the blueprint is really important because even for myself, when I wrote my first major grant for the Youth Opportunities Fund, that all the questions that were in that document or in those questions, that is what a lot of grants are going to ask you. It's almost like 90% of what they ask you in that main grant, they're going to ask you in others. So we designed the blueprint to ask you those questions ahead of time so you can answer them as best you can. Of course, it's not going to be perfect for what every funder is asking for, but now you'd have all the answers you need to go after other grants and again, be 80 to 90% done. So yes, I'll be able to put in the link to Grant Hunter University after. And if you just wanted to totally uh, delegate the grant research and grant writing to a team, we do have a team here at Empowered for X that can, again, understand and listen to, do the blueprint for you, and then find a grant and write the application for you. So there is a cost to just delegate or outsourcing it to our team. But again, that's why we try to do these sessions every other week. So you can understand what grants are there. So helping you with the research and then understand how to go through the applications. So sometimes we find applications that we'll just walk through. So we'll do working groups to help you really do it on your own. So you don't have to pay for that. But one of the grants that we're going to talk about is a way to get a grant to pay for a grant writer. So that way you can bring on a grant writer, the cost of it is covered, and then they'll be able to help you find more grants and help you write those grants. So yeah, use money to get money to then grow your business. So yes, the website, actually I should have the website here. One second. That should take you there. And just, oh, Jalisa, you had a question.
Oh, that was it. I just wanted to know the website so I could
What is
potentially
it?
go over there and get some help.
Did you want to unmute and ask your question, Lisa?
Hi, can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, am I on mute? Hold on. Can you try talking again?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, now I can hear you. Sorry, my computer was on mute. The
That's
whole
okay.
time. That's why I'm like, how come nobody's talking back to me? Anyway, sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, my question was with respect to the website, so I could figure out what services you guys had to offer and how I could go about, growing my business. Because you did mention that you were just talking about it, how you can actually get a grant to hire a grant writer, which seems very interesting. So
Yes,
I'm,
absolutely. We're
yeah,
going to touch on that one shortly.
perfect.
So the two links are there. Grant Hunter U is for specifically the Grant Hunter University, and then empoweredforx.com is the full suite of business supports to help you grow your business and also to get you that virtual business address, which I think is really important. But that's so I wanted to jump into the investment readiness program because I do believe it's one of the best grants that I've seen for for-profit companies. It does help with nonprofits as well because nonprofit organizations should be thinking about having income generating activities, which is considered a social enterprise. And for-profit companies should be thinking of impacting the community in a positive way. And I find that a lot of our businesses do that by default, but then we don't realize we're actually a social enterprise. So we don't feel like we fit into these types of grants. So you 100% do fit. And this one is going to be opening up shortly. They already did 2 rounds of it, I think ending in around 2021. And then in the federal budget, it got renewed. So please go to this site and I'll put the site in the chat. Hold on. And at the bottom here, you'll see you can actually fill out this form to tell them a little bit about what your organization and what your company does. And then they'll notify you when it opens back. So, and again, I predict it should be like February, the latest March. But when it does open, we're going to be doing info sessions about it, and also working groups. So last time we were able to do working groups, which went over like 4 weeks. So we took every single section of the application and started helping people write it and go through it and ask questions. So keep an eye out for that because you don't want to miss this grant when it comes out. All right, and that link will give you a bit more information. You can click on here to read a bit more. And you can get between 10,000 up to 100,000. In case you're wondering how much is available. All right, so the next one I wanted to show you, and I'll put this one into the chat as well. So the BBPA's BADES program, again, I would say because it's a rolling enrollment, it's probably better than the investment readiness program, only because it doesn't close and you don't have to wait for it to open, and you can get the services that you need done, although they don't physically like give you the money, like let's say $10,000 to pay for services. They just connect you with a service provider and then pay the bill for you. So when I was talking about you could get a grant like the BBPA BADES program, and it should be to pay for a service provider that could either build your website, finish your business plan, uh, do grant research and grant writing for you. And also, I think I've seen people get funding to build apps. So if there's an app technology component to your business that you want to get developed, you can now go through this program. So they'd help you with the business plan and then help you actually put up a website and build the app and then help you put together a marketing strategy and execute the marketing. So really, and I do believe you can pick 3 services. So you'd want to kind of loop that journey into those 3 services. But yeah, fine tuning your business idea, getting the product, if it's an app or a website built, and then getting the marketing strategy and getting help to execute it would be the 3 main ones that I would look at. But of course, I'm biased. So that 4th one is around the grants. So if you already have a website, if you already have a business plan and you just need funds, you can get support to get your business loan application done. So there's various loans that are currently open for the Black business community, or you can get help with the grant writing. And we've been able to work with some clients that went right through this program, was able to get our services to help them write grants, and the BBPA was able to pay for it. So again, it didn't have to come out of your pocket. And I did see here that the portal is going to open back on February 18th. So let me put this in the chat, and I will say portal to open Feb 18th. So I don't know if you want to put this into your calendar somehow, make a calendar invite for yourself, put the link in there, put it on February 18th, sometime during the day, and make sure not to miss this one. I believe if you hit register now, it's probably going to take us to that same notification that says it's not open. But there was, I wanted to show, let's see, it showed a better list of all the different types of services that you could get support with. Let me see, I still have that. Yes, they do. So you'll see here, you can get help with business planning, accounting, auditing, registering your business, getting your taxes done. So a full list is here actually. Let me see if I put this into the chat. This way you'll have it. But of course the website, because the website that I put into the chat won't take you to this section. I'll put this in. This way you have an idea. Oh, that did not format well. Sorry. Actually, let me just put this website. Hold on. So this website is I feel like a better overview of the actual program. So you'd understand, one, how it came into existence, and 2, all the different services that you can actually get support with. So again, to recap, when you sign up, you let them know which services that you need help with. They then connect you with a service provider, and the service provider would work with you to get that done, and the invoice goes to BBPA, and the BBPA pays the service provider directly. So no money has to come out of your pocket. but you get the services done that you need for your business. All right. And as we were talking about website building, so this is where you could now, let's say building a website is on your agenda. I want to see if this one is still open because they have two components to the Digital Main Street grants that they give out. So one component that did close was a $2,500 grant to help with your marketing. So you go through they call it digital transformation. You watch some videos about different ways that you can market your company online. And then at the end of it, you'd make yourself your own plan, and they would give you $2,500 to execute plan. The second stage of it was called Shop Here, and this is where they'd actually connect you with a person that would build your e-commerce store. So they build you a store on the Shopify platform at no cost. So if you were looking to get a website done and you wanted to be e-commerce and it fit with Shopify, this one is still open. Hold on, let me put that one there. So definitely check this out so that, again, you can get your website built for you. Then you can go to BBPA and get help with your marketing and your business planning. So you don't have to kind of waste that service at BBPA with something that can already get your website built here at Digital Main Street and the Shop Here program. So let me also put this one into the chat for you. Yes, Jay, not a problem. And this will come to you in a follow-up email. And I believe it's being recorded as well. So yeah, the recording will come to you and the links. Go not able to copy this. All right, excellent. And Kate, in case any women entrepreneurs, oh, okay. That is for people in Guelph. Oh, nice. Let's see. Does it say when the session is, Kate? When is it happening? Or does it happen on an ongoing several dates? Okay, sweet. So yeah, definitely check out that link because any sessions about grants, because there might be stuff that I miss, definitely keep tapped into where all the funding is. All right, so Digital Main Street will help you build your website. We'll see if they renew the digital transformation $2,500 grant, but for right now, it is closed. All right, so the last one that I want to show you, and you'll probably ask, why am I showing you Trillium Foundation? Because it is only for nonprofits. So to me, this is the secret sauce that for-profit companies need to learn is when going after grants, typically grants are designed for nonprofit organizations. So the best way to actually get a grant is partner with a nonprofit organization. And I'll use an example that we did with Detailing Nights. Initially, we had this youth program and we were teaching entrepreneurship, and we applied for the Youth Opportunity Fund and were declined at that first time. And for various reasons. I mean, it was my first attempt at a provincial grant. So typically it doesn't really go well your first try. But what we changed in the second try was actually collaborating with a nonprofit that also had a youth entrepreneurship they had a youth entrepreneurship program to teach, again, high school and college students or those that were out of school entrepreneurship. So we were able to combine our program with their program, and that allowed us to then pull out the learning component of it and create a better, more stronger grant just around how do we teach entrepreneurship, but also we were able to put in the practical element because with Detailing Nights, you're actually doing the work. So because we didn't go on our own, and we pared it down to be very focused on what we we're going to do with the grant, we were successful 2 more times. So that's where if you're going after these grants and you're seeing stuff that are only for nonprofit organizations, if what the grant is funding aligns with what you're able to execute, or like somebody mentioned that they're the writer and they work with nonprofits, you want to become line items for these nonprofits. So when I say line item, in the budget, they put different costs for different services that they need. So if you have a relationship with a nonprofit and they need copywriting, you want to be able to be that line item. So when they put in their application, it says we're going to spend X amount on copywriting, and they already have a vendor. Typically, let's say if it's under 10,000, they don't have to put it out to procurement. So if it's $5,000 that they put for that line item, you have the relationship with them, and you're able to then get that job with them. And again, if you see a grant that qualifies for them, you could bring it to them and say, listen, this grant exists. I could help you write it, especially if you're a copywriter. And then again, you write yourself into the grant. So this one, I wanted to see, they did announce their new applications. So Ontario Trillium Foundation has a few different streams. So they have the Resilient Communities Fund, the Capital Grant Fund, and the Youth Opportunities Fund. So I would say the Capital Grant Fund is definitely geared to more established nonprofits. The Youth Opportunities Fund can be a grassroots organization. So if you and a couple other founders, I would say, created a grassroots organization that could then go for this grant. So it would be separate from your main business, but you'd be able to create an entity that could execute something very specific for the community and get funding for it. And I know before it was between, I think, 70 to 125,000. So it's definitely good money and over a certain amount of years. So it might be worth your while. And that's what we did with Detailing Nights. We said, okay, our business executes like the car cleaning and the youth program. So we took the youth program and then created a grassroots organization with just that component, and was able to apply for the Youth Opportunities Fund, and then was successful again when we collaborated with a nonprofit. So I want to put this link into the chat. And I would say your homework is, if you don't have a relationship, if you're a nonprofit, no, sorry, if you're a for-profit and you don't have a relationship with a nonprofit, find one that matches your vision or mission, vision and mission, I would say, and start to have conversations around what is it that you could offer as a for-profit company that would aid them in their mission, and then start to look for what grants are out there. And again, Ontario Trillium Foundation has 3 different streams that might match what they could qualify for, and then you'd be able to work together on a grant application. So let me type this in here. Perfect. So you can check that out. And the last one I wanted to show everyone is one of the grants around hiring. So this grant, there's a few hiring subsidies that you might see, where if you hire somebody, you're able to pretty much, they get put on your payroll, and then you get subsidized either 50 or 75%, and you get reimbursed. But this program, Venture for Canada, you actually get a team of students to work on your company, and they work on a project. So they call it the Entrepreneurship Project. So you would fill out this form. Oh, it doesn't show you. Let me just go in so you can see. Yes, I agree. I agree. All right. So, oh, this isn't explaining what it is. One sec. Yeah, I think that's just the main form. But the program itself, let me see if I can find the program. So we've had a couple entrepreneurs go through it where a team of 2 to 4 students started working on their company, and you can pick different projects that they can work on within the company. It can range from research to also like helping with marketing and marketing strategy. And so the paid work experience now doesn't come out of your pocket. It's provided by Venture for Canada, and you have students that are able to work up to 7 weeks on a project. So you definitely want to check this one out. I'll put the link here into the chat. Where's the chat? All right. If you want to sign up for that one. Cool, cool. And there's one other website that I wanted to leave you with. It does give you, oh, where are we? Resources and tools. So the business finder, the business benefits finder that the federal government created, which I was quite impressed that they put this together, and it works quite well. So it's pretty much like a mad gap where you answer, you just fill in the blank questions that they're asking about your business. And then what it does is it populates all the different grants that are available through the federal government and their subsidiaries. So I'll give you an example here. So you say, I'm looking for all government support. You'd say what you need. So let's say you need grants and of course help for self-employed. You fill out that you're looking for funding and interns, wage and interns. Is it clicking it? Why does it look like it didn't say funding? I want to make sure it says funding. Okay. And it's up to, I want all amounts. And you can say you're starting a business, you are growing your business, you want to hire people. And you click OK, it takes you to the next section. So it asks you, say you're in Ontario, we're in Southern. Oops, this day, yep. We are in education. And as for like number of employees, let's say you have 4. We are incorporated for profit, and we're owned by Canadians, Black Canadians, and youth under 40. I want to show me all programs. So as simple as that, and I'll put this link into the chat before I forget as well, so you can check it out. All right. And so, yes, you see your results, and boom. Well, my computer does not align with my boom. All right, boom. So you can actually save it and send it to yourself. But you'll see there's different categories. So they have COVID support, funding, advice and expertise, tax credits, loans. So if you had clicked on those ones, these would populate as well, but they still show it to you so you can look through. But let's say the main one is funding. You can now look at, this is summer company. So you can get, if you're in school, you can get $3,000 to you get a grant to start your business in the summer. And this one is actually opening soon. I know the Brampton Entrepreneur Center is doing an info session on February 3rd, and the Mississauga Entrepreneur Center is doing one on February 9th. So that'd be good to keep an eye on. Let's see which other grants are there. So yes, it was talking about Digital Main Street. This one is for Indigenous businesses. They have a Rise Youth Business Program. Oh, it's a 10-week program, and you get a grant for 500. So really, after you answer the questions, you can cycle through all the different types of funds. What is this? FedDev, Jobs and Growth Fund. I know FedDev is quite involved, but it is open. So it might be something, A, to take a look at. You can get interest-free repayable contribution up to 50% of project costs. Interesting. And what is this happening in New York? Get entrepreneur small business, you get $10,000 for solutions. So yeah, this say it's closed Venture Lab. So I know these ones open periodically. So you could definitely keep this link handy. Again, probably reach out to Venture Lab and see what other stuff are happening on their website. But this link is a good resource. And I would say like every couple weeks, maybe at once a month, just checking to see what is new, which ones that are previously closed have now opened. It'll definitely help you keep on top of grants. And there is a funding spreadsheet that we created here at Empowered for X. So that will go out in the fall email with all the different resources and what we talked about today. And where are we at? Sweet. So as I was saying, hey, we here want to support you on your journey, whether that's just coming to these or to our working groups. When the next working group will be, we're probably going to find which grant is active. We're definitely waiting for the IRP, the Investment Readiness Program, but maybe we could do one around the Ontario Trillium Fund. If there's enough organizations that have partnered with nonprofits, we could walk through that grant as well. But if you don't want to do the, I guess, self-paced with our Grant Hunter University, we are definitely here to take that task off of your shoulders and become your project team to research and write grants for you. Of course, I believe we are here to see the community win, whether you're running a for-profit or you're running a nonprofit. And I know the grants are out there. We just have to position ourselves in front of the flow of money, and we want to help you get there. So please, hey, add me to WhatsApp. My number is there. And visit our website, empoweredforx.com, and also acbncanada.com. And the Wednesday session is going to be every other Wednesday. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to have probably a more focused session on one of the grants that are available. And then if a working group is happening, let's say the IRP opens up, we'll definitely let you know when the next working group is happening. But I'll pause there and open it up for questions. And if anything that I kind of went over too quickly, feel free to let me know and we can double back. Oh, make sure my thing is not on mute again. Or I think you can check the chat.
Hi, Ryan. It's
Yes.
Janata. Yeah, I was just asking for I got bumped off and I only got a few of the information that you posted in the chat, a few of the postings. From braids up, I didn't get.
All right, so babes, yes. I can put in. Oh.
Yes, I lost that information.
No problem.
This is very informative. It's one of my friend that works with Dante. What's the name of the thing that Jules run? Urban Arts. My friend that he does some program at Urban Arts Music in Toronto. Yeah, he sent me the link.
No, it's cool. And somebody was joining from Florida. Yes, sorry, it's Anita. So it is focused typically to Canadian grants, but the process for researching grants is definitely universal. Hoping that I helped out a little bit, but yeah, we should definitely dig into what grants are available in the US at another time too. Oh, I wanted to put, so you got the Venture for Canada one, right? So the BADES one, and which other one did I have? Oh, Ontario Trillium. All right. But these will come in an email too, just in case. So not to worry. Sweet, sweet. And thank you, Kate, for the kind words. And yeah, the Jobs and Growth Grant is pretty heavy, but if you can crack the code, because we got from the 1.3 million that we did get was from FedDev, but it took like I think 3 or 4 tries. But yes, knowing how to navigate FedDev is excellent. All right. And yeah, again, I will be here for a few more minutes. If you did have questions, feel free to stick around and ask. Otherwise, I'll give the rest of your afternoon back to you and hoping to see you in a couple weeks at the next session that we do. We really appreciate everyone taking the time to join. Hopefully this was beneficial, and the follow-up email will have the resources in it so you can check it out on your own time. So thank you so much and good seeing everyone.